good day today. It is so rainy and stormy here in Arkansas, which I absolutely love. Just a little side secret, most people don't even know I'm obsessed with weather. If I could be anything else, well, I love to bake and I'd love to own a bakery and things like that, but I would be a meteorologist. I love weather, love storms, tornadoes. I like to be out in it, watching it. The only thing that terrifies me is just being in the shower when storms come. But it's rainy, nasty here. I'm taking a little lunch break from my work, and I am prepping for my supper tonight. And I know y'all think that all I do is cook, which I do love to cook, and I know that's all I've gotten on and shared with y'all, recipes. But I just figured I would take this time to jump on and let y'all know what I'm making. So yesterday I made a pot roast. It turned out so good. It's actually the first time that I've ever made a pot roast. Since James and I have been married, he does not like roast. And surprisingly, y'all, he loved my roast. So I was very, very excited. A lot of people don't like roast because it can kind of tend to be a little on the wet side and stringy. I don't do that. I don't like that either. And so I seared that pot roast, covered it in oil, salt, and pepper. Did a little bit of olive oil in my Dutch oven and put some other, well, later I added some other spices, but I seared it, then added some beef broth, and then I added carrots and potatoes, and then I added rosemary and basil and thyme and onion and beef, a little bit of beef broth, just enough to keep the moisture in. And then we also, we don't drink, but we like to cook with like alcohol because it cooks out. So we used a little bit of brandy in there, and it was, y'all, it was killer. It turned out really, really good. And so I've just been kind of in the mood of cooking in my Dutch oven the last few days because it's been just kind of cold, and I've just been kind of craving those southern meals that you just kind of do in a pot and let it cook all day or for a few hours. So today I thought I would hop on just while I was making this. I'm doing a pork loin, and it's the peppercorn seasoned. It's already seasoned and everything. So I laid it out this morning and kind of let it get closer to room temperature, and I've just added a little bit, maybe a quarter of an inch, I'd say, of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil in my Dutch oven. Put some minced garlic in there. I threw in a full Vidalia onion, and I'm just searing the sides of my pork loin right now. It is supposed to cook for 20 to 30 minutes a pound. This is about a 3-pound one. So it'll end up cooking for a little over an hour. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sear the sides of this. And then I have got, I'm peeling my potatoes. And so I'm gonna peel up my potatoes and chop those once that is good and seared on the sides. And chop up my potatoes. And I'm not gonna dice them up. I'm just gonna chunk them up pretty big chunks because they do cook pretty fast in this Dutch oven. And if you get them too small, they do just kind of disintegrate. So I just like to cut them in fairly big chunks. And these are just russet potatoes. I like to do those with my roast and stuff. And so when I chop these, I'll just kind of cut my potato in half long ways. And then I just kind of go through and dice about 3 or 4 times the other way, just depending kind of on what size the potato is. So let me check my pork loin here and see how it's doing. And so I'm gonna chop up all of my potatoes. I also got some just full-size carrots that I'm going to peel and just chunk in big chunks. Yesterday when I did my pot roast, I did my carrots probably, I don't know, like 2 inches long, and they cooked really well, but they did start to disintegrate. So I'm gonna just probably, like a big carrot, I may just cut it in like thirds today, because my pork loin, I'm not gonna cook as long as I did my pot roast. My pot roast yesterday, I don't know how many pounds it was, but I cooked it for about, I think it was about 3 hours, maybe a little more, 3 hours. And I cooked it on low temp, 300, in my Dutch oven again, like I said. And so, but this pork loin obviously will not cook as long. And so, anyway, so I just wanted to share with y'all what I'm doing. Like I said, it's kind of cold and dreary here, and just this warm kind of southern meals with all the vegetables in it and all those drippings just has sounded so good these last few days. And so I told James, I said, well, today we're just going to do kind of the same thing, but we're going to do a pork loin, which we do pork loin a lot, but I typically don't throw my potatoes and stuff in there with it, but we are going to do all of it together today. And so once this gets done, I'm going to stick it in the oven, cover, and I'm going to go ahead and do it about, I think this one cooks at 350, so a little warmer than your pot roast, and cook it for about an hour or so. And I'll kind of watch my vegetables. If my meat is done, but my vegetables need a little bit longer, I will pull my meat out, let it rest, and let my vegetables cook a little bit longer. But no, just wanted to jump on. Like I said, I'm kind of on my lunch break at work, prepping supper. Our little one is starting back her ballet class tonight. She, this past July, I think, yeah, July, she got a pediatric fracture, and we ended up in a cast for a little over 4 weeks. And so she, of course, is fully healed now and so excited to be going back to ballet. And so we are just going about our normal day today and going to do that, and then we will have our supper ready by the time we get Bubba picked up from school. And Daddy's just kind of enjoying his day off from work. And so yeah, so we're just enjoying this rainy day, and so I just wanted to jump on and see how y'all were doing today, and just share this real quick little recipe that I am making. Oh, and I was going to tell you on this, so I've got that seared plenty, and I am going to go ahead, let me see, I did have, yes, so I've got some chicken broth left over from another recipe that I did. I'm going to go ahead, so this is, I've seared the sides, and so we've got all those drippings down there in the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and add this chicken broth, and this is kind of be our liquid that will cook all of our vegetables and finish up cooking our meat. So this looks really, really good, and I wish y'all could smell it because it smells so good too. And y'all, this is, you do not have to be a great cook to do this. I want y'all to see this. I don't know if you can see it or not, but oh, it looks so good. I've got the onion in there. So I'm getting ready to toss these potatoes in here. And I'm just gonna kind of line them around the edges. And this, so like I said, this pork loin was already seasoned with peppercorn, but these vegetables don't have anything on them, so I'm gonna get these in here, and let me finish peeling my carrots real quick. I am gonna go ahead and top my vegetables off with some salt and pepper, and again, I love the rosemary and the basil and the thyme. Those just bring such a good flavor. And so and then as these vegetables cook, they will of course produce quite a bit of liquid too. So I didn't put a whole lot of liquid in there because our carrots and potatoes are full of water. And so like I said, I'm not gonna cut these carrots super small because I don't want them to get too mushy. And they didn't yesterday, but I think they might do a little better if they're bigger. So again, just top these with our seasoning, and because your meat and stuff is hot, if you need to hold off and cook this, stick it in your oven a little later, just stick your lid on, push it to the back of your stove, and put it on whenever you want to. I mean, it's hot in there, so it's not gonna hurt anything if it's gonna sit out for a little bit, especially since it's not summer and it's cool, and you need to wait and cook it a little later in the oven, just closer to dinner you can. So anyway, so I'm just peeling my carrots here. I'm gonna get those in there and put all of those seasonings in there on top, and we will have dinner. And it is a 1-pot meal and so cheap. I mean, I think that pork loin was like $6. The carrots, for a full bag of full carrots, 98 cents. Potatoes, of course, the full bag was like $4, and I used them yesterday and I've used them today, and I think I've got a couple left for we need to use them for something else. So super cheap meal and feeds a lot of people. And so so I just thought, well, I might as well jump on here and just kind of tell y'all what I'm doing. But I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm gonna finish this up and get back to working with my patients, and I pray that y'all have a good rest of your week too, as we're kind of in the middle and getting close to church time. And so, again, just kind of reflecting back on what I talked about the last time. Are you focusing on your now and what's going on now, and not what the future may hold? You may be fretting something. You may have some medical tests coming up that you're concerned about, or you may be I don't know, facing some decisions at work. You may be dealing with something with, if you have a child that you're dealing with, sickness, issues. If you are having marital problems or relationship problems, or just, struggling with just kind of knowing, I don't know, what the next step is in life for you or your family, or maybe it's just the unknown. Maybe, sometimes that unknown of what the future holds can be a little overwhelming. And I think we have to remember to put the Lord right there in front of us. We hop right in behind him, and we keep our eye on him, and we walk with him, and we don't look around. Don't try to peer around his shoulder to see what the future holds. I think there is a reason that he doesn't give us the ability to be able to see that far ahead, because I think that we would maybe waver in our faith, which we sometimes tend to do anyway. But just get right in line behind him, and every step he takes, we take a step with him, and we take the next step with him, and we take the next step with him, and like I said, it's kind of like a baby walking and learning how to walk, and we're gonna fall, but we get right back up because we've got mom or dad or aunt or uncle, somebody there to pick us back up and okay, let's walk again. There may be a table right there in front of us, a barrier, but we move when he moves. We go right with him, and he will get us to the next step and to the next step. We just have to trust. That trust is so hard, and but we have to do it. It literally is our only hope, our faith in him, because y'all know we can't depend on this world, our government, or we can't. It's just there's no hope but him. And so just keep focusing on that now this week. Keep that now. What am I here to do now, wherever I am? Whether I'm going to be in a different place next week, what is my goal? Why does the Lord have me where I am now? So think on that this week and try to stay focused and don't get discouraged. You just, you push on, you persevere. This, like he's told us in the Bible, it is a race. It is a continual race. We just persevere on and persevere on and persevere on. He'll get us to the next step. So, well, y'all have a good week. I may jump on a little later. Who knows? I don't know what may come. But get you a pork loin. Put all your vegetables in there, and you've got supper, and it will last for a few days. It's such a good meal to go back and warm up to, especially if you make a big portion, several of them together. So anyway, y'all have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you later. Love y'all so much. Focus on the now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.